Hey guys, welcome back. Drip and Farm for Poverty. I'm your host, Drip Coach, and let's jump right into it. So today we're going to be covering some content reference. I guess you could just call it being cut from a different cloth, right? Or I won't be silenced, whatever verbiage you want to use. And shouts out to Dan, the crypto man, 5055. Coach, don't get discouraged by the few people saying what you're doing is wrong. Some people don't live in the real world and have their heads in the clouds. If bad actors keep getting away with bad behavior, they will keep doing it until the cows come home. And I believe that wholeheartedly. I believe that facts 100%, because if anybody that has actually interacted with me behind the scenes in the various chats, they know that what I'm doing, I do it from a place of actually genuinely trying to see Drip survive. I look at the people in the eyes that I've physically onboarded here in Cambodia, the people that now I'm onboarding and supporting in the Philippines. And these are not just crypto wallets with letters and numbers. These are real people. And there is a real problem that nobody wants to address. I can't say nobody. So I will talk about the other person shining light on this at the end of this video when I give you some context, because there's a really great representation of where most people sit. And this was done in a real world social experiment. And I believe this is exactly where a lot of the other content creators sit. And it disgusts me that people can see a problem, as you're going to see in this video, and they will actually turn their head and ignore it. They'll believe that someone else will handle it. And the only words I can use to describe it are disgust, because you can see it, like you'll find out in this video, that it is 100% transparent and real, but everybody thinks it's somebody else's problem. So nobody wants to stand up. But every once in a while, you're lucky enough to get people who have morals, values, courage, and integrity to actually step up and challenge the atrocities that are actually going on. So in this clip that we're going to play, it comes from, I believe it was, what is that? ABC, MSNBC? I can't remember, but like 12 years ago, they did this staged child abduction to see how would people respond if a child were being kidnapped in broad daylight in a public city, right? Because everybody likes to think that they would do the right thing, or that someone would be the good Samaritan and respond when something that is clearly wrong is going down. But what you're going to find is that most people stick their head in their sand. They literally, in this case, walk right by. And then when some of them are interviewed, they respond like, well, I thought somebody else would handle it, you know. But we will get to the actual warriors that step up in the end. So in this scene, or we're going to play about 3 minutes worth, there's a little girl named Raquel. She's 7 years old. Her mom is actually in a recording van that can watch this from nearby. There's also a hidden camera staged as well. And there's a cop on scene. So it's completely controlled. But just take a look at what happens.
Hey, where were you, young lady?
It's unbelievable, but they did nothing.
So you can clearly hear her saying, someone help me, you're not my dad, please help, stop. And the little boy looks back, but as the commentator said, no one stopped, no one helped.
Bill and Raquel repeated this time after time.
So here's another couple walking by, and again you can hear her screaming, someone help, you're not my dad.
Still no response.
And you can see they clearly are concerned, right? But like I mentioned earlier, this, I believe, is the response from a lot of the community, a lot of the content creators. They're just looky-loos. They see an issue, because you can't deny it. It's there. It's palpable. You can cut it with a knife. But they would much rather get on stream and say, hey, just be positive. You know, just go back to making positive content. Ignore the drama. You can't ignore like literal things going on that are malicious and vile. Like these people. Like, I'm not saying they're bad people, but the issue is that people want to ignore things. They don't want to get involved. They think that someone else will handle, that someone else will step in. Sometimes it's up to you. It's up to you to actually be that person to step up. But unfortunately, since we all think the next person will do it, it always just continues to go on and nobody addresses it.
It's frightening that nobody would help.
One woman walked right by, believing someone else would take action.
And yeah, words from the mother there. It is frightening. And this is in something that is like, how would you say, much more ingrained as something you should get a visceral knee-jerk reaction to, meaning it should, if I can't speak for actually being there, but you would expect that anybody that did partake in this, like it should have kind of rubbed them the wrong way. Like you would hear this and see this child behaving a certain way, and it would make you at least take pause. And again, you did see people pause, but it wasn't quite enough leverage to take action.
And why didn't she do anything?
You think that someone else will take the blame, someone else will take the responsibility.
A police sergeant on location to supervise was stunned.
I felt it was unbelievable that people just didn't want to get involved. They'd look, they'd turn around, they'd see with a commotion, but they just kept on walking. They didn't want to get involved, in my opinion. Bill.
100%. They see the commotion and they just don't want to get involved. Everybody thinks it's someone else's problem, but especially in what we're dealing with within the drip community, it's a community problem. The community needs to stand up and get their voice heard. You can't expect someone else to do it. Even myself, I just have a YouTube channel, but not willing to actually do your own research and look into stuff and then raise the flag when you see something that is blatantly hypocritical, for lack of a better word, then it won't get fixed if you don't even take the stance to actually say something or share your opinion or ask others to, hey, look in this, maybe some of this stuff you don't understand. Well, get someone else that's unbiased that can, you know, educate you to look into the data, and then you can make an informed decision with that person. But choosing to do nothing is not an option, or it shouldn't be an option. Unfortunately, a lot of people take that option.
Would have been long gone with 7-year-old Raquel. It took hours, but two men finally listened to their instincts.
Took hours, but finally 2 men listened to their instincts. So shouts out to the heroes in this video. And that's who I believe actually we have right now, myself and Mystify. Mystify decided to actually start this kind of digging, and I decided I was going to run with it. Like anytime I get a project, I do run with it. That's how the drip marketing DAO has came to be, and how we now have this collaboration and everything. So I dive in. I'm all in on whatever it is. And so it all started with just that spark. But luckily, there are these people in society. It's not the majority. They are the minority. So like he said, hours and hours went by, and these 2 guys decided to do something about it. Like in unison, they take off and get ready to, I guess, surround him, I guess you could say, but I won't go into the rest of it. Well, yeah, we'll do shit left for the clip, but they decide to actually intervene is the main point, right? They decide to actually take action. They were watching, they listened, they did their own research, and they're like, hey, this doesn't add up. Maybe we should do something about this. Maybe we should look in. Let's go a little closer. Let's see what's going on. And then once they figure that out, they're going to take action.
Good job.
So it's actually a 3rd guy that got out of the car. He circled around as well to jump out and was gonna make sure that nothing happened or it didn't escalate any further.
Stop, someone help me. She's not my dad. He's not my dad. And I was like, first I thought she was being a little disobedient, but then you weren't saying nothing, so I was like, we gotta stop this guy.
That's it. That's the key. He looked into it, right? So he heard the statements and thought initially like, it's just someone being disobedient. But it continued. So he decided to do a little more digging, and then he took action. That's what it takes. And again, I know a lot of people watching this video in the community aren't going to take action. But for those that do, shouts out to you for holding that flag and that mantle and having that courage to stand up, especially in the face of adversity right now, when people would much rather just stick their head in the sand and pretend that the problem's going to go away, knowing that there are people on the other end of these ones and zeros crypto wallets that are going to get wrecked due to the bad behavior within the ecosystem, the undeniable, verifiable on-chain behavior that we as a collective have the power to get addressed. I'm just one person, but if you guys actually want to see change, then take to Twitter, take to contacting the what's this guy's name, the project manager. I believe he's in the Forex Shark calls. You can find his contact. So I think that's what it takes. to have someone look into it. And I'll be first to say, if I'm completely wrong about this, which I know I'm not, I already fixed the one issue that I had, then I'll admit it, you know. But the blockchain doesn't lie. The data is there, and it's been going on now since the start. So what are you guys going to do? Are you going to be like these other people in the video and just ignore it and think that it's going to be somebody else's problem, or that it'll magically fix itself? Drip sitting at 22 million drip right now, total, and like 16 million in wallets. You think that's just going to magically fix itself? If so, please give me whatever you're smoking, because that'll make me feel better, I guess, and I won't have to worry about it. And on the heels of this, the reason I brought this up is because, so some clarity for this, I shared this post, you guys know from the previous video, from the Drip Marketing DAO. So yes, I admit that I should not have shared this from the Drip Marketing DAO, because the DAO is composed of multiple other members, but I didn't do it with malicious intent. I did it because the DAO has more reach than my channel or my personal, and it clearly worked, because 4,200 people have viewed it, 420 have voted, so a good 10% actually took action and voted, and it would not have got that same reach if I had just done it for mine. So I acknowledge that and won't share anything from the Drip Marketing DAO that is quote unquote controversial. I'll leave the Drip Marketing DAO Telegram specifically to Drip Garden updates. But again, this was done because, to me, Twitter is the best place to get community feedback, because the community chat has been taken over and people have been kicked out for simply asking questions. And then, of course, not everybody watches every other content creator's channel. So the only way is this free speech platform that Elon made. So the goal was to get more people to actually get off the sidelines, stop watching things happen, and vote, like a simple vote. But this clearly shows you how sad this actually is for the community. 4,200 people almost have seen this, but only 10% would even take the action of clicking a button. That's pathetic in my opinion. My personal humble opinion is that's just sad and pathetic. And how do we expect as a community for the actual drip community to thrive and move forward if people can't even take actions on anything? They just sit on the sidelines. Well, I'm not going to be that person. I'm cut from a different cloth, and I refuse to sit silent and let things that I know are completely malicious, unjustified, and don't represent the values of integrity that I try to have and the people that I brought into this community-owned, community-driven project. So I'll do whatever it takes. And shouts out to Mystify for holding it down. Appreciate it. That's all I got. Hope that provides some value. If it did, smash that HBO special, help a brother out, like, subscribe, comment down below, and until next time, live daily and achieve your impossible. See ya. Want to pay your in real life bills with crypto? How about send crypto directly to anyone with a bank account? SPRITZ Finance is a decentralized solution to be your own bank and connect your crypto earnings to real-world bills and payments. They do not take custody of your assets and allow support on multiple blockchains and Web3 wallets. Sign up below using my referral link and you will get $50 back when you make your first $50 bill payment with crypto. Additionally, I will be using referral bonuses to airdrop, donate, or burn based on community feedback. Sign up now.